Hey guys, what's up? Zags here. Today we are here with the next episode of F1 Championship Edition. Today it is the Turkish Grand Prix, obviously a track we don't currently have on the calendar, but a track that pretty much everyone enjoys just because they're amazing corners around this track and some of the amazing moments we've had over the years. But anyway, the lights are out and away we go for this Turkish Grand Prix. As we head down to turn 1, we're looking to the inside here. We've qualified in 10th place there, so that's pretty decent. Heading into turn 1, looks like the BARs, they're being quite feisty. Managed to get past Rosberg and now up into 9th place, but the BAR Honda there of Button managing to get a pretty good start and managing to get back into a points position here. They're all sort of bottling up here, and looks like we're trying to go on the outside there, but it wasn't really working out. Now looking to the inside of Button, still doesn't really work out, but possibly round the outside. Both the Japanese manufacturers here going side by side. Obviously Toyota versus Honda, and Button goes for the chop there. And he manages to get past Trulli. But we go down the inside of Button now. I think that's Raikkonen as well. Now up into, I think, 6th place when it always updates there. So crazy start to this race there. And we managed to get up to 6th place. You can see it's confirmed there. But I think this is Button. Yeah, look at this. Button manages to push his way through there. Is that turn 6 or turn 8? I always get mixed up, but I think it's one of the two. I think it might be turn 8. And yeah, interesting to see that Button very fast through there and managing to make his way back into 6th place here. But we're in the slipstream now of Button. We should be able to get the move down this long back straight with a bit of a curb in it. And this is the place obviously where Webber and Vettel had their moment in 2010, but we managed to get past Button there without any accident whatsoever and into 6th place once again. Now Montoya is the car in front of us, so we're going to be able to get past him, and we're looking one way then the next, but not really finding an opportunity to overtake him there, and running slightly wide through the final turn there and making that slight mistake, which isn't too clever. But across the start finish line here, we are what, 7/10 of a second there behind Montoya as we head to turn 1. Well, that nearly looked like it was going to be a corner cut there, but we're all over the place, all over the grass. Button's right behind us here. We've lost a little bit of time there to Montoya in front of us. And now we're just going to make sure we don't do anything silly. Got a bit wide once again. Here's Button looking down the inside. No, he isn't. Luckily for us, there's no contact or anything. But I was slightly worried there in the race when I went a bit wide that Button was going to force his way down the inside. But this is actually our best qualifying result when we've moved to, or since we've moved to Red Bull. So that's a really good moment for us. Me, I suppose, in qualifying really. Is that a good qualifying result? But now we need to pull out a good race result. Obviously, we had a pretty poor qualifying a couple of races back and managed to get on the podium. So, yeah, it's all about whether whether you're good in qualifying, whether you're good in the race. Because it seems to be that me at the moment, if I have a good qualify, I actually end up having not as good a race result. I'm not too sure how or why, but that's just how it is currently. And we've now got to just focus on trying to get past Montoya and getting into 5th place here, because a bit of a gap is starting to opening up. The first two of you can see on the mini-map quite far out in front. A bit of a gap to 3rd place, then a bit of a gap to 4th place there. And then Montoya, we go down the inside of Montoya and up into the top 5. Good stuff now. Can we get past Fisichella? They've certainly closed the gap in these last couple of corners here. But maybe on the start-finish stroke, just a bit too much of, go a bit too wide, I should say, around the final turn. Maybe losing me a bit of time there. Now, you can see a couple of cars have pitted there, and we make a slight mistake all over the outside of the track there. Luckily no penalty or anything, but a couple of cars have pitted, as I said there, and that's put us into 3rd place now behind Massa and Fisichella. Looks like the front two have pitted, which I think would be Schumacher and Alonso. Make a slight mistake there and get overtaken by Montoya. Nearly a bit of contact afterwards as well, but luckily nothing happens, and run a bit wide there, but overall not too bad. Still got a bit of a gap to Button behind us, and you can see here this is our pit stop lap number 3 here, and I wasn't too sure whether Montoya was actually stopping here, so we nearly crashed into him multiple times, but at the end of the day we managed to get into the pit stop without any damage, which is good. Now you'll see in front of us here that there's the car of Fisichella. He's pitted, then Raikkonen pitting as well, slowing us up a little bit there, which would be a bit annoying. But a little bit further down the pit lane, you can see all the Red Bull mechanics here going into the stop here, and we'll try and have our best pit stop that we've had in this series. It's going to be tough because obviously we've had some decent pit stops, but every single time we go into the stop, I'm sort of challenging myself to have a good pit stop, and look at that at 8.2. We've actually jumped Raikkonen in that stop as well. I was just thinking, I don't know why I was thinking it was Montoya there for a second, but Raikkonen, we've jumped him in the pits. Or is it Montoya? I'm getting confused here. Who is it? Please update the timing screens. It is Montoya. I'm sorry, I got confused there. and I'm not too sure why we got a 2-second penalty there, but okay, that's just that. And anyway, out of the pit lane here, who's this? Oh, we get a penalty. We get another 2-second penalty. What's happening here? Who's it? Button's jumped us in the pits. So we got past Montoya in the pits, but Button got past us. So technically we're back down to 6th place here. Button jumping, I think, 2 or 3 cars in that stop. So pretty good stuff there from Button. And that's put him up, obviously, a good amount of positions. But that, obviously, I do sort of feel that we should have had that position. We had 2 penalties, which I don't think we should have really had. But I suppose it's just the game. I suppose it's hard to really just keep complaining about the games because it's just how it is. They're not going to update it or anything, so no point really complaining. But I'll do it anyway. But anyway, final lap of this race here. This Turkish Grand Prix has been pretty interesting. And now we've got, what, a 4/10 of a second, nearly 5/10 of a second gap to Button in front of us here. We're in the slipstream down this long back straight here. Oh, we're going to look for the move. Yes, we are. We're a bit later on the brakes. Here we go, a little bit too deep into the turn, but we managed to make it. Somehow we managed to make it and not go wide or anything. Kind of crazy, actually, how that happened. And around the final turn, we actually managed to keep the position. And on the last lap of the race, we managed to fight back and get 5th place here into the top 5 on the last lap of the race. Got to say that was a very good race there on that last lap of the race, or it was a good move, I should say. And I was kind of lucky to make that move stick. But there we are. That's how the standings look. After the Turkish Grand Prix there, we managed to grab 5th place, which is good, and Michael Schumacher ended up winning the race. You can see our teammate not doing too well there. David Coulthard, what are you doing? Anyway, looking at the driver standings, we're in 9th place here, only a couple of points behind 8th. 8th was our standings, sorry, our standings. 8th was our, 8th was, what am I trying to say? 8th was our aim after we joined Red Bull. 8th in the standings was definitely our aim. So yeah guys, thanks for watching, hopefully you enjoyed the video. It's been Alex, I'm out here. Goodbye.